Hey there, want to spend less time pulling weeds? Check out Soil Shield by Modern Grower. It's the pre-cut landscape fabric solution to help you drastically reduce weed pressure. Just roll it out, staple it down, and plant. Then let it do the work for you. Say goodbye to endless weeding and hello to more free time. Plus, it's high quality, durable, and will last for years, saving you time and money in the long run. It's available in a variety of row and hole spacings to accommodate all the crops that vegetable farmers grow. Learn more about Soil Shield landscape fabric at shop.moderngrower.co or using the link below. When we go from that big farm to the smaller farm, you got, in many ways, trial by fire there running that. What are some of the big things that really helped you excel when you scaled down? You learned them from managing a big farm, and when you applied that to small farm, it really worked. Is there anything out of that? Because I think some people, their knowledge is all market farming related from podcasts, from books, and that type of thing. But you saw the much larger side of things.
Yeah,
Less on the small.
for sure. There's so much. It was such a learning arc to go from, being mostly brains. And I was outside a lot, but my job was to think through things. My job wasn't to do a lot of the physical work. Lots of spreadsheets, lots of numbers, lots of ordering, lots of people management. But then to start over, it was just me and the tractor, the first season. And I then had to go through that whole experience again of like, I'm the person who's planting, I'm the person who's picking, delivering, invoicing. I had to like feel every bit of that job again. And I think that it's made me a much better farmer to come around the bend again, because in my business now, every single thing that I've delegated, I've had to do first. As I could find help and delegate stuff on the ground, then I could start building marketing and all these other kind of aspects. And as I get it built, continue to hand it off. So I think, again, it was one perspective. Like, I came into this other farm as a manager, and I started at the top, and I didn't obviously have the perspective all the way down to the bottom, but it's been a really interesting journey in this business, really starting from the ground up and feeling every task in every system and experiencing that, and hopefully optimizing it like as I delegate it and hand it off. So that's been an interesting learning as I jumped into the small, but definitely taking from the large farm into market farming. One thing, for example, I had never seen, we farm with drip tape exclusively, pretty much. A few low pressure mini wobblers for the summer, but we pretty much run all on drip, and that's standard here in the South where it's really hot. And so I always saw market farmers pulling their drip tape across the top of the bed. And then when I got to this large commercial farm, we shanked all of our drip tape under the soil. And it's absolutely marvelous because it's always in a constant place in the bed. You don't nick it when you're cultivating. And actually, because of osmosis, you get a more even wet on the soil surface. So when you have drip tape on top of the ground and you're dripping down, it fans out underneath the ground. Whereas when you have it shanked underneath the ground, it's actually fanning out up onto the surface. So you're getting that wider part of the cone. So you can do direct seed pretty much, except for in the deep summer, we can direct seed everything on drip tape. And so that was one of those things that on the commercial farm, I was like, I'm never going back to putting drip tape on top of the beds. Like, my first piece of equipment that I bought was a bed shaper that had, shanks to put that drip tape like 3 inches under the soil. That was something that I was like, I'm never going back. Like,
Did it just live under there, 3 inches under there, or just stayed under there for good?
Yeah. For the season, you have to pull it up before you till and remake your beds. But
Reflip the bed, but like bed rotations and stuff like that, just no problem right on top as long as you're not what's there, you're not going super deep.
Yeah, it just depends if I'm like pulling out my okra. Obviously, like it's gonna destroy the bed and I can't reuse it. But like, especially with like rounds of arugula and stuff, like we'll just put a tarp on it and kill it, and then you can come in with the tilther or hoe and just cultivate that first top few inches of soil, and then we can replant right into it.
Hello, growers. If you enjoy podcasts like this one, tune into my podcast In Search of Soil on YouTube for a deep dive into the mysteries beneath our feet. Join me as I explore topics such as mycorrhizal fungi, mushrooms, compost, biochar, and more. It's a soil nerd's dream. We're going deep. We're talking to scientists about all things soil related. Whether you're a seasoned farmer or a gardener just starting out, our podcast has something for everyone. Listen in and grow with us. Check out In Search of Soil on YouTube.